the bread of salt. How did it get that name? From where did its flavor come? Through what secret action of flour and yeast? At the risk of being jostled from the counter by early buyers, I would push myself into the shop so that I might watch the men who stripped to the waist work their long flat wooden spades in and out of the glowing maw of the oven. I felt my curiosity a little gratified by the oven fresh warmth of the bread I was proudly bringing home for breakfast. For my reward, I had only to look in the direction of the seawall and the 5th yard or so of riverbed beyond it, where an old Spanish house stood. It was in his service as a coconut plantation overseer that grandfather had spent the last 30 years of his life. Grandmother had been widowed 3 years now. On quiet mornings, I imagined the patter of her shoes upon the wooden veranda floor as a further sign, and I would hurry off to school, taking the route she had fixed for me. The post office, the church, the town plaza, the health center, and at last, the school grounds. Should I walk with her? Decided it would be the height of rudeness. Enough that in her blue skirt and white midi, she would be half a block ahead. How I endeavored to build my body so that I might live long to honor her. In class, I would not allow a lesson to pass unmastered. Our English teacher could put no question before us that did not have a ready answer in my head.
Minamasdan kita nang hindi mo alam. Pinapangarap kong ikaw ay akin. Mapupulang labi at matingkad mong ngiti, umaabot hanggang sa langit. Huwag ka lang titingin sa akin at
And their daybreak would find me thrilled by the sudden certainty that I had won Ida's hand.
You must join my band. Luke, we'll have many gigs soon. It'll be vacation time. Tomorrow, we play at the funeral of the Chinese 4 to 6 in the afternoon. In the evening, Judge Harold dance silver wedding anniversary. And on Sunday, the municipal dance.
My aunt said, "Why do you want to be a musician? At parties, musicians always eat last."
Merry Christmas, Ida. Will you be away this vacation?
No, I'll be staying here. My cousins are coming. There will be a party for them.
So, you know all about it.
You've done us a great honor. Oh, but you haven't allowed us to take you by surprise. till he's gone. I wrap up a big package for you.
Wala na ang dating tamis.
I could not quite believe that she had seen me, and yet I was sure that she knew what I have done, and I felt all adore for her gone from me entirely.
Wala na ang dating damdamin.
We found ourselves alone at the counter, and we watched the bakery assistants at work until our bodies grew warm for the oven across the door. It was not quite 5, and the bread was not yet ready.
Saan mo labasin nila?